What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Bold TV. I'm your host, Philip Michael. Here's a topic for you. Health insurance. It's a necessity, and most people get it from their job. Our next guest here is Carl Schuessler, the CEO of Mitigate Partners. Mitigate Partners helps businesses create healthcare plans that work for their employees and their budget. Welcome, Carl. How you doing?
How you doing, Philip Michael? Great to be here. Appreciate the opportunity to speak with y'all.
Great to see you, and I'm excited to talk about this because it's one of those touchy issues, healthcare. How do you do it? How do you do it correctly? I come from a country where it's free. When I came in Denmark, coming here, never really understood it. So tell me, how does Mitigate Partners work?
Mitigate Partners is really a composition of cadre of like-minded benefit advisors all over the country, spanning from the West Coast to the East Coast, about 30 different offices. And we believe, Phil Michael, that collaboration over competition is better. Normally, we would all compete with each other, but we came together to work together, and we think 1 + 1 = 20. And when you're in your own benefit shop per se, you're very myopic in your view. You don't see the world the same way.
Right.
So we bring a different perspective when we work with clients from all over the country.
Interesting. And how much does the average business spend on health plans?
I would tell you probably between $10,000 and $15,000 per employee per year.
Per
somewhere in
year.
that range.
And why is healthcare so expensive? And how is it that why is it so expensive, and how is it you step in to sort of solve that issue?
Well, hey, how long do we have today?
Let's go. We have a few minutes, but if it's interesting, we'll keep it going. Hit me.
All right. Well, there's a lot of things. I
Okay.
mean, you've got so many misaligned incentives, the embedded conflicts of interest. You've got the insurance companies, you've got the hospitals, you've got people in our business. You've got so many people that the more the costs go up, the better they do. The loser is the person that's the employer.
Right.
That's the loser. But you've got just so many misaligned incentives that drives the cost.
So at the crux of the issue is misaligned incentives that really, at the end of the day, are the burden lies with the employee and thus the person that needs the health care. And again, how do you solve that? How do you solve that friction point?
Well, it's pretty simple. We eliminate the middles.
Talk about that.
We don't need insurance companies. We build our own plans. We do what we call, Phil Michael, employer-built healthcare. Think about healthcare like a house.
Okay.
We build the employer their health plan. What most people do is they do what's called insurer-built healthcare, where let the insurance company build their plan. By building employer-built healthcare, it allows the employer to actively manage their plan to keep the costs down while improving clinical outcomes for their employees and financial outcomes for both the employer and employee. So basically, to really sum it up real simple, it's getting the money off of Wall Street back to Main Street, relocalizing the care in the communities where it was meant to be given.
And what's next? Again, the healthcare space, not too familiar with it, and there may be a lot that may not understand the intrinsic dynamics and the mechanics of what it is that you're doing. How big do you want to take this, and what is your goal? What do you seek to target and disrupt? You said taking away from Wall Street to Main Street, cutting out the middlemen. So let's say I have a company, and I want to create healthcare plans for my employees. What is my next step, and how do I do that in a way that doesn't cost me $10,000 to $15,000? I come to Carl, and then what happens?
Come to us, we sit down and we go over what your goals are, and we start working together to build the health plan. And it's going to take several hours, 2 to 5 hours, to really sit down and figure it out. And what we do is we find the best cost containment bricks, if you will. Think about a health plan that controls costs, Philip Michael, like you're new, you came from another country, Denmark.
Yes.
So when you came here, I mean, how crazy is it that you can't even find out the cost of a service you're fixing to get?
Right.
And the first time you hear about it is 30 days later. So in our model, I mean, think about it. Would you ever buy a flat screen TV and not know the cost for 30 days?
No, of course not.
Of course not. Of course you wouldn't. We have a cost and quality solution that provides transparency. The members can call and get guided to the right doctor at the right time, at the right quality, and lastly, the right price. That's the difference. So when our members in our health plan go to pursue medical services, they're going to know what it costs up front. And that's a huge difference. And more importantly, they're going to go to the right doctor. My dad was a 40-year OBGYN. I could go on and on like Lionel Richie all night long with you, Michael, if you want to. But I mean, I'm telling you right now, it's a problem. And so when we are able to do that, we can guide the members to the most effective and the best healthcare out there.
What's next for you? What's next for you all?
Well, we're still growing, and we have a lot of interest. We've had 4 people reach out this week that want to become part of Mitigate Partners. So I think what's next is we're going to try to. And when you said disrupt, I mean I got to tell you, that's such a negative connotation. I want to ask you this, Philip Michael.
Sure.
Yeah, it is. Well, here's why I'm saying. How can something that's right, the right thing to do, be considered disruptive? How can taking healthcare to work like everything else in the United States economy be considered disruptive?
Well, if you're asking me, and it's not a rhetorical question, I would say if there are, as you mentioned, misaligned incentives that are embedded into the system, it is more like an evil, I don't want to say evil government, I mean this analogously, and you overthrow it, hence the disruption. That's why I used the word that I did.
Well, if we're going to use disruption, if we're taking profits from all what I call the cartel, then I guess that's disruption.
Right.
But we're trying to take healthcare back, to localize it, to bring it back to the communities where people can go get care without the counterproductive barriers, insurance companies, and everyone else. How about you being able to get the care you want to get without all the red tape? That's what I'm talking about.
So let's strip away disruption and let's call it corrective course of action. Is that better? Because I actually think that's where it's going. Because again, you're absolutely right. If something is run by the cartel, it's time to come in and correct it, and it's time somebody actually does it.
I like that. As my friend Jerry Ashton likes to say, let's rethink this.
Rethink this. I like that. And thank you so much for being here, Carl, and thank you for the insights. I look forward to hearing what you guys are up to and what happens next.
Yeah, appreciate the opportunity, Phil. Michael, have a great day.
Thank you. And thank you all for watching. Make sure you follow Bold TV on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Until next time, have a great day, and I'm out of here.